What is going on, Jerome's? The NFL draft is mercifully almost here, and bittersweet, actually not even bittersweet, just sweet memories. The Vikings Twitter account put out 3 years ago today, the Vikings drafted Justin freaking Jefferson, and CC, Chris Carter, one of the Vikings legendary receivers, was advocating for the Vikings to take the pride to LSU when he tweeted out on draft night, Vikings, please draft Justin Jefferson, LSU. He's got a chance to be as good as any wide receiver in this year's draft, and that's exactly what the Vikings did. And remember, 2020 was the weird Rona draft where everyone was isolated in their own homes, and it was actually kind of neat where, the presentation, didn't have all the pomp and circumstance, obviously, but, Belichick's dog making selections, it's kind of fun, man. It was good times. Plus, you did get to see, the players spending time with their families, coaches, decision makers at home with their families, and it was nice. It was refreshing and making the best out of a bad situation. But Justin Jefferson, the pride of LSU, national title, 4 touchdowns against Oklahoma in the college football playoff, all that stuff. And him coming in, he was a stud. Like him, Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, Terrace Marshall Jr., Clyde Edwards-Helaire were absolutely gangbusters for Coach O and the LSU Tigers winning that natty and going undefeated. And the Vikings did make him the number 22 overall selection coming in. Now, maybe some draft people had some concerns that Jefferson wouldn't be able to get off a press in the National Football League and he would be a slot-only guy. I don't know who would have thought that. Yeah, about that. But Jefferson was indeed drafted by the Vikings at 22, but he was the 5th wide receiver taken in that class. At 12, you had Henry Ruggs going to the Raiders. That didn't work out. 15, the Broncos. There's rumors that Jerry Jeudy has been on the trade blocks for months now. 17, the Cowboys taking C.D. Lamb, the pride of Oklahoma, who's a stud. Don't get me wrong, but he's not on Jefferson's level. And then, of course, 21, Jalen Reagor, formerly the Eagles, currently on the Vikings as wide receiver, 4 or 5. And I'll admit, again, I will see, the thing about the draft is that you have to own your mistakes. And the Vikings were looking to replace Stephon Diggs, and I actually thought that Jalen Reagor, in terms of skill-wise, a 1-for-1 replacement for Diggs did make sense. And I did think that Jefferson maybe would just be a slot-only receiver. It's okay to be wrong, especially when you're this badly wrong, but whatever. Also, it's funny, because of where they were drafted, 21, 22 respectively, Jalen Reagor actually makes more this season on the final year of his rookie deal. That has made more throughout the duration of his contract, which is kind of funny, man. Of course, when the Eagles took Reagor at 21 was the last time that Rick Spielman and Mike Zimmer got along. The viral video of them cackling of the Eagles passing up Justin Jefferson and him falling into the lap is fantastic. And in 3 seasons, Justin Jefferson has become the best receiver in the game. Last year, he blew up, almost had the Triple Crown. Also almost had 2,000 yards, but didn't quite work out the last couple weeks of the season. But led the NFL in catches and receiving yards, franchise records in both categories, which if your franchise features Chris Carter and Randy Moss, that's pretty good. Led the NFL in YAC, led the NFL in 20-plus yard catches, led the NFL in first downs. He was the 2022 NFL Offensive Player of the Year, as well as got a couple of MVP votes. It was an MVP finalist because they did ranked choice voting this year. And through the first 3 seasons, he has the most receiving yards, 48-25, as well as the most 100-yard receiving games through the first 3 years at 24, which ironically still beats the number for the first 4 years, which is held by Randy Moss. So, Justin Jefferson is obviously that dude, and obviously extremely happy that he's in purple, even though I had questions. I wasn't alone. Like a lot of draft prognosticators had questions, and obviously the league had some questions, hence why he was a wide receiver 5 off the board. So let's not get into revisionist history here. But, yeah. This is what's coming up, man. So the Vikings have a talent. So now take care of him, extend him, find him his quarterback of the future, and let's go. Let's go win a dozen Jerome Bardys as Justin Jefferson is driving the bus all the way to Canton. But your thoughts are thoughts. 3 years ago today, the Vikings drafted Justin frickin' Jefferson. Let us know your thoughts and our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But until next time, Skull Production Value.